why are you running for the Fairfield City Council?
I had to put a lot of thought into this question. I've been asked on more than one occasion if I'm crazy, and I want to assure my constituents I am not crazy. That is not why I'm running for City Council. And giving it lots of thought, I've come to the answer that the reason I'm doing this, the motivation behind my candidacy, is my family. A year ago, our family actually left Fairfield, moved to Western Iowa in an attempt to be closer to extended family, specifically my aging grandparents. And in the entire time that we were gone, everybody missed Fairfield. My children missed the school, the band, the activities and sports, the fairs, the festivals. My husband needed the technology that wasn't available to us in Western Iowa, but we had here in Fairfield for his work from home technical job. We missed our friends, we missed our neighborhood, and even our daughter struggled while in college, whether on the weekends to come home to Fairfield, where our friends and extended family are, or to come home to mom and dad. So I am running for City Council to make it the community that we have come back home to.
Okay. You talked a little bit about your work experience in your family life. Do you have any community service experience, government experience? Do you have anything in your background that's giving you a little bit of a feel for working like in the public sector?
The entire reason I feel like I am qualified to do this is my years of experience working with the RC&Ds in Iowa. Pathfinder's RC&D is located in Fairfield. I left there to work with Golden Hills RC&D in Western Iowa. And during my years working for the two and along with the other RC&Ds around the state, I got a lot of experience and I really found a passion for doing rural development, community service. I enjoyed working with the boards of directors that we had with those, the councilmen, the county supervisors, and I also enjoyed the government reporting and the grant writing and all that went along with that. So I'm really planning to pull from that RC&D experience. And last night, as I thought about our questions, I also realized that I used to say nearly 20 years of accounting experience. I've now exceeded 20 years of accounting experience that I hope to bring to this as well.
Excellent, very good. What are the three most things that you're most concerned about facing Fairfield? What are the three biggest problems, three biggest issues, however you'd like to frame that?
I've got a unique perspective on that. I sat in with a forum in Mount Pleasant on Tuesday called SET, yep. Stronger Economies Together. And I found that the problems that face Fairfield don't just face Fairfield. They face all of the rural communities here in Southeast Iowa. But we're looking at a need to retain, grow, and develop jobs in Fairfield. We need to keep the employers we have, find ways to grow the employers we have, and then seek new ones. And with that, we will also be able to grow our population base. And as any taxpayer knows, with a growing population base as well as a growing business base, we're going to grow our tax base, which I hope will ultimately address our financial concerns there in Fairfield. I'd be a fool to not think that the finances are a concern for our community, but I do think that they are addressable.
Are you prepared to have everybody and their mother tell you that there's a pothole in front of their house and that
I am.
It needs to be fixed right now?
I am actually, I'm one of them. We lived on a very nice street when we moved out of Fairfield, and as genuinely, and there's no joke to this, the weekend we decided to move back to Fairfield, our home sold. So we quick had to find another home. And I am now one of those who every morning drive down the street and grumble under my breath, this street is so rough. But I'm also very aware that with every repair that the city has to face, there's a dollar sign attached to that.
The housing situation, I mean, there's been some concern over low and moderate income housing in Fairfield. Have you given any thought to how you might address that? Especially if you're going to grow the tax base, you got to have a place for moderate income people to live.
I have. I can actually say that, again, having left and come back, there are much worse places to try to find a place to live than Fairfield. We struggled for almost a year to try to find somewhere in Western Iowa to live, and then came back. But so we're not as bad as we could be, and that's something good to focus on. I have actually had experience working with communities on pursuing CDBG grants for second-story housing, and our downtown definitely lends itself to that and would make great apartments and homes for young professionals that are interested in coming in, teachers, doctors, dentists, optometrists, the type of people that we really need to be pulling in. And I also see the opportunity to take some of our existing houses and find investors who are interested in turning them into middle income rentals. Rentals are definitely something that is more attractive to the next generation. I think we've made a swing from don't pay rent, go buy a home, and now people don't want to be tied down to that mortgage and they're turning back towards renting. And I think we do have a lot of homes in Fairfield that have the potential to be great family homes.
Obviously, and you kind of touched on this before, the financial situation with the bond rating downgrade. I think that caught a lot of people maybe in southeast Iowa and northeast Missouri kind of by surprise, because compared to a lot of the towns, you drive through Fairfield and it looks like this is a place it's got its act together. What do we need to do to get that bond rating back where I think everybody would prefer it to be?
Well, first, I'd like to say I'm pretty sure Fairfield does have its act together. What we see when we drive through Fairfield is a desirable community to live in. And that didn't happen overnight, and it didn't happen, again, without dollar signs attached to that. So Fairfield took the initiative, had the foresight to build, develop, maintain, and now that we've done some of the bigger, more costly projects, we need to enter into a time of repayment. And as I think on this and ponder how to answer the question, all I can do is tie it back to our own checkbooks. If we buy a house and have a mortgage and go out and buy a car and finance it and take a vacation on credit, at the end of the day, our credit score is affected. But we've had great memories, we had a great time, we've got a good home and a quality car, and now we just need to pay that debt off. And so I think Fairfield has taken a number of years and invested in our community. We've got a great rec center. We really do have pretty decent roads. The one thing people never see is sewer. It's under the ground, but they've addressed a number of sewer concerns. I am very proud of our recreational opportunities, our loop trail, again, the rec center. And we've invested. We've invested in a community where people desire to live and play, and now we've got to pay off those investments.
Let's see. And again, you talked about this a little bit, but I'll ask you again. Fairfield's assets. What's Fairfield have going for it that maybe other towns in southeast Iowa don't have going for it?
I wouldn't say that other towns don't have it, but one of the things that definitely tugged at our heartstrings and pulled us back across the state was its home. It's got that small town feel, but yet it has more to offer than your average small town. We have the retail necessary when the kids come home at the end of the day and say, "Mom, I need poster board and glue." And we also have the grocery stores right there in town. Where we were living, I had to drive 40 miles to the nearest grocery store. So we do have everything we need to meet those day-to-day needs, but we also have friendly neighbors and festivals and Friday art walks. We have community pride. You walk into any one of our schools, and those kids are happy to call Fairfield home. Homecoming is a prime example of that. Our various traveling teams for baseball, volleyball, basketball. We've got a huge soccer program. And you see all of us on the sidelines on the weekends, and we are a community. We're not just a doctor or a farmer or a lawyer sitting there cheering on our own child. We're all there cheering on the whole team. So I really think what Fairfield has going for it is that it's home and it's small town community. And as I touched on earlier, we definitely have an edge when it comes to technology, which kind of goes hand in hand with the number of entrepreneurial endeavors there. But how many small towns under 10,000 can say that they've got fiber to every home in town? So that is definitely an advantage that we have, an asset. And again, our recreation opportunities, be it the convention center and the variety of acts that come in there, or be it our outside parks and trails, there is never a lack of something to do if you take the time to look.
Okay, and finally, opportunities for development and revitalization in Fairfield. I mean, like I said, I think probably Fairfield's ahead of the game, really do,
Yeah.
but obviously there's always things that you could maybe improve. What would you like to see from an economic development? What would be the next step?
I look forward to working, we have Fairfield Economic Development, and I look forward to working with Adam on opportunities to develop our downtown. Again, touching on second-story housing. It's a very trendy thing right now, definitely something the younger generation is excited about and looking. We also have the opportunity to look again at industrial growth or business growth, and maybe the possibility, we've seen a lot of success with the industrial parks that have gone in southeast Iowa and bringing business here. So the theory of if you build it, they will come. You know, no baseball fields, but maybe an industrial park. And then I also think that we have an opportunity to grow our community through marketing. You know, marketing our assets that we already have, and then marketing the entire community to one another so that there is that hometown sense of pride.
Excellent. And then I'm just going to give you an opportunity, if there's anything that I didn't ask that you would like to say to Fairfield voters. Last minute pitch, or do you think we got it covered?
I would just say, you know, again, I moved to Fairfield in '98. Didn't come with the intent to ever stay, just looking for a place to get a job and raise a family. And what do you know, I found my husband. We had our kids here. We go to church here. We play ball here. I really have a passion for making, like I said, making the community of Fairfield the community that all it can be for my family and my kids as they continue to grow and then spread their wings on their own. I have a little image that I'm using for my motivation behind running, and it's a table with its 4 legs. And the table is, of course, the city of Fairfield. And the 4 legs, and this really ties back into my RC&D work, are a community that is financially sound, family-friendly, economically inviting, and environmentally aware. And I think Fairfield has great starts on all of those, and we can do, you know, all we can do is move upward from where we've got.